Meet Volkswagen electric future, and this is electric ID.4. Now it is direct answer to Tesla Model 3. And at Volkswagen they said it's an SUV that goes along Tiguan. Well, to be honest, it more reminds me to the retired Chiron, so there is pretty much nothing SUVs in this car. So I can easily say it's a classic modern car where you simply sit higher. And you're probably interested in its electrical features. Well, let's start with the range. The range of this car is between 240 and 522 kilometers. And it mostly depends on two things. Number one is which battery you choose, and number two is the way you drive it. Now let's talk about batteries. If you choose 52 kilowatts hour capacity of the battery, charging at 100 kilowatts DC will take you about 38 minutes. And if you choose 7.2 kilowatts AC, that will take you about 7.5 hours. Now the larger capacity of the battery has 77 kilowatt hours. If you're charging this one at 150 kilowatts DC, that will take you 38 minutes. But if you are charging it at 11 kilowatts AC, that will take you about 7.5 hours. Well, by the time we already got used to the fact that when we're charging the batteries up to 80% of capacity, that goes relatively quickly. But after that, the charging is slowing down.
So, this is the electric future they were talking about. It certainly looks similar to the other electric vehicles, especially the way it lacks a large vent at the front for the engine cooling. The front and rear lights will be upgraded to nicer, animated ones similar to the Audi 6 and 8 if you get the higher equipment levels. This particular test model has the so-called first equipment level, which is not available to purchase anymore. I like the rear more, especially the lights, which span the entire width of the car. The batteries come in 52 and 77 kilowatt hours, while North America gets 82 kilowatt hours. The ID.4 is thus around 2 tons hefty, while it offers 109, 125 and 150 kilowatt electric motors. They will soon offer an all-wheel drive version with more power. Compared to today's models, the ID.4 has a pretty discreet badging, which I approve of. And here are the upgraded rear animated lights. Neat. If you're surprised at seeing drum brakes at the rear, you're not alone. Drums can harbor rainwater and they cool more slowly, especially with such a heavy car. On the other hand, you will be mostly braking using recuperation of the electric motor, and you do get discs at the front. I've driven a fair few electric cars by now, and if you anticipate things in advance just a little bit, you'll practically almost never use mechanical brakes. Oh, this is probably what almost every electric car's trunk will look like. Big, heavy, annoying charging cables you will constantly use and always be too lazy to neatly put away. I like the interior. The color combinations are great, but I can't gloss over the large amounts of plastics everywhere and, of course, piano black plastics on the steering wheel, on the dashboard, and on the center console. Don't expect physical buttons either, everything's capacitive. If you want to change the volume, temperature, or seat heating, be ready to take your eyes off the road. The main instruments are all digital on a small screen. There's not much customization available, but you do get nice ambient lighting.
So bottom line, with larger battery, you can make about 500 kilometers. And in practice, that means you can take a vacation, quite good one, and you don't need to stop for a battery charging. And how much you will pay for electric adventure like that? Well, in Slovenia, this car costs about 47,000 euros or up to 58,000 euros. But you do need to know that the price does not include heat pumps or the alloy, so you will need to pay them extra.